Hello everyone, my name is Zurionyx, and today we'll be watching the worst places to die in space. I know some of these planets, these are really cool planets. Let's get right into it.
Mars. Mars is the most habitable
Okay.
planet in the solar system, besides Earth. On a summer day near
I don't know how we can live on Mars though. We're like decades, maybe even centuries away from living on Mars. I just don't see that happening.
the equator, temperatures can reach a comfortable 68 degrees Fahrenheit. You can walk
That's
around,
not
check
bad.
things out,
Yeah.
and honestly feel pretty okay. But the air is 95% carbon dioxide, so one breath without your helmet, and you'd be out in seconds.
Yep.
Radiation is 40 to 50 times higher than on Earth.
Carbon
Enough to damage your
dioxide is scary. A lot of people don't realize how dangerous it is, man.
DNA every hour you're outside. And even
Oh,
though it's
wow.
freezing, the air pressure is so low that any crack in your suit would cause the liquids in your body to start boiling. Mars
my
also
God.
has dust storms that can cover the entire planet for weeks. NASA's
wow.
Opportunity rover was killed by one in 2018.
Oh,
Its solar
rest in
panels
peace.
buried under dust until the power ran out. For a human relying on those same panels, that means no heating and temperatures drop to minus 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Oxygen filters stop working too, so now you're in
Yeah.
a freezing dark habitat, breathing air that's slowly getting worse, with the nearest help 7 months away. The moon. The moon is Earth's closest neighbor, sitting about 240,000 miles away. There's no atmosphere, so temperatures swing from around 260 degrees
moon-
Fahrenheit
the moon is
during the
very
day to minus
boring, though.
280 at night. But the real threat on the moon isn't the temperature, it's the dust. Billions
Yes.
of years of tiny space rocks smashing into the surface have ground it into a fine powder made of microscopic glass shards. Unlike sand on Earth,
I did
which
not
gets
know
worn
that.
smooth by wind and water, lunar dust has never been smoothed down. The particles are so
Okay.
small they can pass through most filters. It also
Mhm.
sticks to everything it touches, including your suit, helmet, and gear.
That
During the
is
Apollo missions,
Bad?
just 3 days of moonwalks were enough to almost lock up the suit joints. And every time the astronauts came back inside, they brought the dust with them. They said it smelled like spent
Holy
gunpowder. If you're breathing that in,
gunpowder.
it tears through your lung tissue
Oh.
like ground up broken glass, scarring it a little more with every breath. Over time,
Ow.
your lungs slowly lose the ability to take in oxygen. Saturn. Saturn is the
Saturn,
second largest
okay.
planet in the solar system. And before you even get
It's
close to
literally
it,
just a
you
gas
have to deal with
planet.
its rings. They're made
Uh-huh.
of billions of chunks of ice and rock, some as
Ice
small
and
as a grain of
rock.
dust, others the size of a house. These chunks move at up to 45,000 miles per hour, and any one
That's
of them hitting your
crazy.
ship would be enough to destroy it.
Oh
If you
my
make it
God.
past the rings, the planet itself isn't any safer. Saturn's atmosphere is mostly hydrogen and helium, with no
Mhm.
solid surface underneath. At the top, temperatures drop to minus 418 degrees Fahrenheit. As you fall deeper, winds pick up to around 1,100 miles per hour, roughly 5 times
that's-
stronger than the most powerful hurricanes on Earth, enough to throw
Really?
your spacecraft completely out of control. Below that, the pressure keeps building. The gases around you
Oh,
get
Saturn
thicker
ain't
and
a
thicker
joke.
until they turn into liquid. Your
Oh my
ship and
God.
suit would be crushed long before you ever reach the core, where temperatures hit around 21,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
HD
No one's surviving that.
189733b.
Okay, I've heard of this planet, the HD 189733b. This thing rains, what, diamonds or glass shards sideways? So you'll just be obliterated in seconds. Oh my God. This is one of the coolest planets I've come across in school.
HD 189733b is a gas giant about 64 light years from Earth,
That's
slightly
not
larger
too
than
far,
Jupiter.
actually.
From a distance, it looks bright blue, almost exactly like our own planet, but that color has nothing to do with water. It comes from tiny particles of glass floating in the atmosphere. The planet is tidally locked, meaning one side always faces its star. On that
wow.
side, temperatures reach around 1,700
Oh
degrees
my
Fahrenheit,
God.
hot enough to turn rock into gas. As that gas rises and cools, it hardens into tiny glass shards that get caught in winds, blowing
Yeah.
up to 5,400 miles per
Yeah,
hour,
you'll
about
die
7
instantly.
times the speed of sound. So
Oh my
instead of rain
God.
falling down like on Earth, HD 189733b has glass flying at you sideways at over
Yeah,
a
you're
mile per
dead.
second.
You're dead.
At those speeds, the shards would tear through your
Yeah.
spacesuit and your body in seconds. These
You won't even
winds
feel
circle the
pain,
entire
I think.
planet, so there's no calm spot to fly toward. And since it's a gas giant, there's no solid surface to land on either. The Oort cloud. The Oort cloud is the farthest edge of our solar system, a huge shell of icy objects starting about 2,000 times farther from the sun than Earth. Out here, the sun looks like just another star. Temperatures sit close to minus
Oort
450
cloud, I've
degrees
heard.
Fahrenheit, just above absolute zero, the coldest
wow.
anything can possibly get. But the real problem isn't the cold. It's the emptiness. There are no
Yeah.
planets, moons, or landmarks
I know
anywhere
the
nearby.
Boots Void.
Just a
That
few
one's
chunks of
scary.
ice spread across trillions of miles of dark,
Ooh.
silent space. Voyager
Wow.
1, the farthest object humans have ever launched, has been traveling over 47 years and still hasn't reached it. At
Oh
its
my
current
God.
speed, it would take about 300 more years just to get to the inner edge. If your ship broke down out here, no one could get to you.
Oh,
no
yeah.
distress signal would
Basically
arrive in
dead.
time. You'd just be stuck with whatever food, water, and oxygen
No, you'll just be dead, man. Let's just be truthful. You'll just die, bro. You're cooked.
you had left, watching it all slowly run out. Nothing out here kills you
Yeah.
fast. You'd most likely die of suffocation once the oxygen
Or
was gone.
starvation.
Enceladus. Enceladus is one of
Ooh,
Saturn's
okay.
moons, only
Oh,
about
it's a moon.
314 miles across.
That is
Small
a
enough to
weird
fit
name.
inside the state of Texas. The surface is covered in ice at around minus 330 degrees
That's
Fahrenheit,
cool.
and there's no real atmosphere. So your suit is the
I know
only
Jupiter has like, what, 2 to 3 moons, if I recall?
thing keeping you alive. Saturn's gravity constantly pulls and squeezes this tiny moon, which causes cracks in the surface,
Oh, wow.
especially near the South Pole. Through those cracks, huge geysers blast ice and gas into space. The gravity here is so weak that some of this stuff drifts far enough to become part of Saturn's rings. These
Oh,
geysers
wow.
aren't just ice and water vapor, though. Scientists have found hydrogen cyanide in the mix, the same chemical used in poison gas. If one of those
Mm.
blasts hit you, the gas alone would kill you within a minute. And if
Oh,
it didn't,
wow.
the wave of freezing material would lock your body in ice almost instantly. At that
Oh my
point,
God.
the same weak gravity that sends geyser material into Saturn's rings could do
You're
the
just
same to
gonna-
you. A supernova.
Imagine your coffin is just in the Saturn rings, just rotating. That'd be so
A
funny.
supernova is what happens when a
Supernova
massive
is
star runs out of
crazy.
fuel and explodes.
Boom!
In just a few seconds, it can release more energy than our sun will produce in its
It's crazy because supernova can reach light years of distance. So if you see a supernova far away, it probably happened a while ago.
entire 10 billion year lifetime. That energy
Oh.
comes out as a blast of radiation and high-speed particles, with the gamma rays and X-rays traveling at the speed of light. That's what makes it so dangerous.
Yeah.
Because that radiation moves at the speed of light. There's
Mhm.
no way to see it coming. By the time you could detect it, it's already hitting you. Within a few light
Yeah.
years of the explosion, it would break apart every atom in your body almost instantly. Nothing we
Wow.
know of is thick enough to block it. Even farther out, the damage is huge.
Yeah.
Up to about 50 light years
Yeah,
away, a supernova can destroy a planet's
exactly.
ozone layer and flood the surface with enough radiation to cause mass extinction. Some scientists think this actually happened on
That
Earth about
is
450
scary, though.
million years ago, wiping out around 85% of all marine life.
Oh.
Titan is Saturn's
Titan.
largest moon and the only moon in the solar system with a thick
Mm.
atmosphere. It's bigger than Mercury.
Am I
and in a
confusing Jupiter with Saturn? Because I know one of those two planets have 2 moons.
lot of ways looks surprisingly like Earth. It has clouds, rain, rivers, lakes, and even shorelines, but none of it is water. The rain is liquid methane, and the lakes and rivers
Oh.
are filled with it too. The temperature sits at around minus 290 degrees Fahrenheit, which is cold enough to make methane behave the way water does here on Earth. The atmosphere is
Interesting.
mostly nitrogen, similar to Earth's. The pressure is about 1.5 times what you'd feel at sea level, so you could walk around without a pressurized suit, but the cold would kill you in minutes without heavy thermal protection. Liquid methane is also about half the density of water, so if you fell into one of Titan's lakes, you wouldn't float. You'd sink straight down
Oh
and
my
freeze solid
God.
within seconds. And because of the thick orange haze in the atmosphere, you can't see the sun, Saturn, or anything above you from the surface. The sun. The sun is a ball of
I don't know why we're talking about the sun. Can we all agree that the sun will instantly kill you?
plasma,
Do we
about
need to know this? You know what?
864,000 miles across,
Let him explain
over
it.
100 times the diameter of Earth. There's no solid ground to stand on. What looks like a surface is just the very outside layer of plasma. Before you even got close, you'd have to pass through the corona, a layer of gas that reaches around 3.6 million degrees Fahrenheit,
Oh my
way hotter
God.
than the surface.
my
NASA's
God.
Parker Solar Probe got within about 4 million miles in 2024, the closest any spacecraft has ever been. The surface sits at around 10,000
Didn't they also have like a footage of the aircraft going into the sun atmosphere? There was a video, if I recall.
degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to boil pretty much anything, including diamond. The gravity is
Oh,
about
I'll melt
28
anything,
times
man.
stronger than Earth's, but the heat would kill you long before that mattered.
Yeah.
Your spacesuit would start to char within a tenth of a millisecond. Within half a millisecond, Boiling plasma
Oh
would hit
my-
your body. By 10 milliseconds, your flesh, bones, and suit would all be turned to gas.
Just gone.
Your nerves can't send pain signals that fast, so
Yeah.
you'd be gone before your brain knew something
That's
was
good.
wrong.
At least it's a good.
Jupiter is
sign.
the largest planet in the solar system.
Yes.
About 89,000 miles
That red
across,
dot still
over 11
scares me
times
to
wider
say.
than Earth. It's a gas giant, so there's no solid surface, just layers of gas that get thicker as you go down. But before
Yeah.
you even enter the atmosphere, the radiation is already a problem. Jupiter's magnetic field is about 20,000 times stronger than Earth's, trapping enough
Holy.
radiation to give you a deadly dose from 186,000 miles away. Your electronics would stop working, and your organs would start failing soon after. If you
Whoa.
somehow made it into the atmosphere, you'd hit winds up to 400 miles per hour strong enough to rip your ship apart, and lightning bolts wider than Earth that could fry
Like
everything
red
inside
lightning?
it. The gravity is 2.4 times stronger, so you'd be falling fast with nothing to land on. NASA's Galileo probe made it about 87 miles in and lasted 58 minutes before the pressure and heat destroyed it.
Ooh.
Below that, the gas slowly thickens into liquid and eventually into liquid metal.
Oh
You'd be
my
crushed
God.
and cooked long before reaching the core. A magnetar. A magnetar is a type of
magnetar
neutron
is so
star,
cool.
the leftover core of a massive star that exploded. It's only about 12 miles across, but so dense that a single teaspoon of its material would weigh about 5.5
Yep.
billion tons. Its
Yeah.
magnetic field is up to a quadrillion, or 1,000
Oh
trillion
my
times
God.
stronger than Earth's, making it the strongest magnetic force in the known universe. That kind of force changes the shape of your atoms. From thousands of miles away, the field would already fry every piece of electronics on your ship. At about 600 miles, it's strong enough to squeeze the normally round atoms in your body into long, thin, needle-like shapes. Once
Oh my
that happens,
God.
the bonds that hold your molecules together stop working. Everything in your body, from your DNA down to individual cells, falls apart at once, and nothing visibly touches you the entire time. There's no material that can block a magnetic field this strong.
Yeah.
In 2004, a magnetar called SGR 180620 released a burst that stripped atoms apart in Earth's upper atmosphere from 50,000 light years away.
I did not know that. Whoa, really? 50,000 light years? That's really far.
Venus. Venus is often called Earth's twin because of its similar size and gravity, but the surface is nothing like Earth's.
Yep.
The temperature sits at around 860 degrees
Oh, yeah.
Fahrenheit, hotter than Mercury, even though Venus
Oh,
is
wow.
nearly twice as far from the sun. That's because the atmosphere is 96% carbon dioxide, which traps heat so well that it doesn't matter whether you're on the day side or the night side. The air pressure is about 92 times what you'd feel at sea level on Earth, the same as being about 3,000 feet underwater. The air is so thick that just moving through it would feel like pushing through a heavy liquid. That pressure would start crushing your suit
Oh
almost
my
instantly. At the same time, the heat would be cooking through it from the outside. And the clouds above you are made of sulfuric acid, which
Oh,
would eat
God.
through whatever was left.
Rain's
the Soviet
acid?
Venera 13 probe was built to survive these conditions and lasted just 127 minutes. A human
Wow.
in a regular spacesuit wouldn't last a single breath.
Yeah.
Io. Io is one of
Io,
Jupiter's moons,
yeah.
about the same size as Earth's moon. It's the most volcanically active place in the solar system,
God.
with over 400 active volcanoes across its surface. Some of them erupt lava at around 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than any volcano on modern Earth, and launch plumes over 300
Oh my
miles into space.
God.
The
Just
lava
shoot
is
some
also loaded with
lava.
sulfur compounds that would eat through a spacesuit on contact. The reason for all this activity is Jupiter. Its massive gravity constantly pulls and stretches Io, warping
Yeah.
the surface by as much as 330 feet with every 42-hour orbit. That's enough to crack the
Mhm.
ground open beneath your feet without warning. Some of the
Oh
lava
my
lakes are over
God.
100 miles wide. On top of that, Io sits inside Jupiter's radiation belts, which deliver about 5 times the lethal radiation dose for a human every 24 hours.
That's
So even if
crazy.
the volcanoes didn't get you, and the ground didn't split open beneath you, the radiation would. There's no atmosphere to protect you from any of it. Europa. Europa is one of Jupiter's moons,
It's mainly
about the
moons,
size
huh?
of Earth's moon. The surface is a shell of ice roughly 10 to 15 miles thick, covered in cracks from the constant pull of Jupiter's gravity.
Oh, wow.
Underneath that ice is a liquid saltwater ocean that could be up to 60 miles deep.
What's
the
in
surface
there?
temperature sits at around minus 260 degrees Fahrenheit. If one of those cracks opened beneath you and you fell through, you'd drop into a pitch black ocean with no way to tell which direction is up. The water is
Oh
near
my God,
freezing,
that's
and
terrifying.
the ice above you is miles thick,
It's like
so no radio
swimming
signal
with your
could get
eyes
through.
closed.
No
That's how
one on the
dark it
surface
was.
could reach you. and no technology exists that could drill through that much
Oh.
ice fast enough to help. In
I heard
water
it's called like Ice 7 or Ice 8. Like there are like different levels of ice, like how hard it is, you know?
that cold, you'd stay conscious for a few minutes before drowning. Your body would
Or
never
freeze
be
to death?
recovered. Scientists also believe this ocean could support life, meaning a
Oh.
human body down there could contaminate the only other ocean in the solar system that might have something living in it. A black hole. A black hole is what's left
Black
behind when
hole.
a massive star collapses in on itself. Its gravity is so strong that nothing can escape it, not even light.
light.
The
Yeah.
point where escape becomes impossible is called the event horizon. What kills you
Event
is the difference
horizon.
in gravity between one end of your body and the other. As you get closer, the pull on your feet becomes so much stronger than the pull on your head that your body starts to stretch. Scientists
That's
call this
so
spaghettification.
weird.
The force would pull your spine apart and tear through your muscles until your body snapped at the midsection. Then each half would snap again and again
Oh.
until you were stretched into a thin stream of atoms, spiraling into the center. For a distant observer watching you fall, something strange would happen. Your image would appear to slow down near the event horizon, eventually seeming to freeze there. Over
Okay.
time, your light would shift from visible to infrared to radio waves, slowly
my
fading
God.
but never fully disappearing.
That is so interesting. I mean, the black hole is no joke. I mean, that's basically just a one-shot move. Other moons and planets, they're actually majority of them are pretty deadly. Like the HD 189-733b, that planet is crazy. Radiating glass sideways. Wow. Well, I'm not gonna stay here any longer. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts on this video, and yes, I am out.